Hi, my name's Lindy. Welcome to the channel. My website's www.lindycowling.co.uk. Email is info@lindycowling.co.uk. Title of this video is The Human is at the Heart of Ascension. The human is at the heart of Ascension. This video has been stimulated or brought about by my seeing a very familiar pattern emerging throughout the so-called lightworker industry and emerging particularly on public platform arenas such as, for example, YouTube, amongst others. And this popular, well, almost like mantra really, this popular teaching that in order to ascend, one must almost like disassociate from their own humaneness, and their human beingness. And that in order to reach their highest stages of consciousness, the teachings I am seeing and hearing with ever more frequency is one must almost disassociate from being human. The teachings are to look down on being human, that being human is a stepping stone to ascending. And this is a teaching that I totally disagree with. And I think there are actually dangers in that teaching. As you know, this is an experiential channel, which means everything I talk about, teach, or share, I have experienced personally and or professionally, usually both. I can tell you from one that has 18 years experience within that industry and 18 years experience of knowing full well how to disassociate, how to be up in la la land and in the woo woo side of things, how to be separate in a way from my own body and body consciousness. I had that as a knee-jerk response since childhood due to trauma, but I also knew it from the mediumship psychic side of things. I knew full well and could do it easily, as easy as breathing, tapping in outside of me, disassociating, displacing, etc., etc. The reason I'm bringing this up is these teachings that I've come across are going along those lines. And even if the teachings are not meaning to do that, they are encouraging people to believe and to resonate with that in order to raise one's consciousness, in order to become the embodiment, listen to the words embodiment, in the body meant. And in fact, that was one of the first videos I ever brought out 4 years ago, in the body meant, embodiment. These teachings are encouraging not actually the human vessel part of it or the human body conscious part of it, or becoming the anchored physical version, authentic conscious version of you. The teachings are almost advocating the human part of you is, well, it's almost beneath the ascension part of you, which is quite frankly insane, because what those teaching are doing is they're teaching separation consciousness between ascension and one's human vehicle. I can tell you now that at some point, the person or people teaching this way, or those following those teachings, will at some point fall flat on their arse. And the reason they will fall flat on their arse is because you can't miss out the very humaneness of who we are. And if we were not meant to have the opportunity to do this in human bodies, in human vessels, as human consciousness, as human beings, even the word a human being, we would not have incarnated in this form. At best, these directives, teachings, or this fashion, at best it is, I feel, misguided. And at best it is spiritual bypassing, because it's inadvertently leading people away from their own authenticity, and it's leading them into a separation mindset, and it's not leading them back within themselves into the human vessel as the complete embodiment. In other words, if you want to ascend in the human vessel, you can't miss out the human vessel bit. I feel that there's a very real red flag here, a very real danger here in this leading people down that particular path. I can tell you from personal and professional experience, my journey into consciousness and raising my consciousness, my journey into the heart, is all part and parcel of me being a Lindy, and all part and parcel of me being a human being. It is all part and parcel of our humanity and humaneness. And these teachings are causing a separation or displacement. They're not the encouragement towards embodiment or unification. They're the opposite. Even if it's being done mistakenly, they are the opposite. Because people are aspiring to leave the very human part of them behind, as if it's beneath them, to reach for something up here. And I'm going to say it again, at some point, the teachers that are teaching it and the people that are following them will fall flat on their arse. How do I know this? Because you can't avoid the human vessel bit of it. If you want to ascend in a human vessel, in your human vessel, you can't miss out that integral part of the puzzle. All of what is being reached for out there has to be assimilated and integrated and raised within as an elevation of consciousness, not as some fashion statement or the latest thing to say or the latest trend or the latest idea. Because I can tell you now, you'll get so far, but you won't get any further if you don't bring it down into the vessel that you are inhabiting as a spiritual being, through the vessel of the human being, as the integrated embodiment of your authentic conscious self. Now, I think that's all I need to say on that subject, and it's been brought about by literally seeing like a fashion or a trend. It's interesting. Someone will say something and then a lot of people will suddenly jump on it and think it's the latest thing. I wouldn't even say without thinking it through, without having gone through those steps of the process themselves. And then because someone's saying it, they then leap to that kind of thinking or belief. And I can tell you now, you have to do it that way round. It doesn't matter if you do all the other side of it first, the spiritual side of it first. You will have to integrate that as part of your own consciousness through the heart. You will have to. And your human vessel isn't beneath you. This is how you are experiencing the interplay of consciousness and the interplay of life as part of being a human being. And I'm going to say it again, if you weren't meant to experience it through this particular vessel, you wouldn't have been incarnated as a human being. So it's something to watch for. Don't miss out the human part, the very humanity, the very humaneness, the very heart of Ascension. On that note, I'll love you and leave you. As always, thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for supporting me as the channel in all the ways that you do. And if you are somewhere in the world where the sun is shining, which it happens to be shining here at last, after a very long drawn out winter, enjoy it. Get out there and get some sun rays if you can. Loads of love. Thank you. Bye.